Hi, it's Dave from Driving Venture. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing this rather fabulous 996 GT3 RS. This car is taking me back to school, let me tell you. Not only is it a manual gearbox, but we've got no ABS or traction control to keep you company. This car changes direction extremely quickly. The front end is just light and just bops along as we take this asphalt on ahead of us. I think I'm right in saying there was only 682 of these cars ever made, and an extremely low 113 found their way to UK owners. Now it's important to, I guess, say when it comes to GT3 product that back in 2004 when this car was retailed at the Porsche Centre, there wasn't the same fanfare and excitement and queue, and there was no need for a letter of intent to try and get on the list to have one, because I don't think it had quite captured the imagination at that point in time with the Porsche enthusiasts. Now that's all changed. And these cars are very much in demand. A mint example such as this, with a mere 10,000 miles on the clock, is going to set you back very close to £190,000. And what makes this car special for me is the blue livery that's on the car. Those stainless steel coloured alloy rims with the blue and the blue livery. About, I think it was only a third of them that were supplied came in this colour combo. So it makes the blue GT3 RS 996 that bit more special for me. Another thing to note when it comes to the GT3 RS 996 was that it was stated it had 381 horsepower. Now, if truth be told, these cars actually had 400. So they were a car that was extremely exciting to drive. Lightweight, this car shared 20 kilograms over the standard GT3, and it brought to the GT3 line the RS configuration. The steering on this car, it's just absolutely sharp. It's just razor sharp, and it's just raw. It's just a raw car. You know, all the rattles, the rumbles of the cabin. This puts a big smile on your face. What a day I'm going to have today, filming such a special car in the lineup of Porsche. Now, this car is rare. You look at the 997 GT2, and then you look at the 997 4-litre 600. So 682, there's not very many around, and in right-hand drive, only 113. So people who bought this car and have enjoyed this car from a financial standpoint, it's been a fantastic investment. And I think any GT car has that potential, but of course with so few on the road, you know, it's always going to be a sought after car with collectors wanting them, really. You can certainly feel the torque on this engine. It really does pick up quick from very low down in the rev band. So even though it had the same horsepower as the standard GT3, wasn't uprated as you kind of get these days in the 991, but what it did give you was more performance because it was lighter. The other thing about the 996 is that the chassis is on the same narrow body as the standard GT3. In 997 they got wider, 991 they've got wider still. So this was a car that was on a narrow bodied setup, which I think makes the car again a little bit unique, and the first RS to hit the UK market. This car is claimed to reach 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. The one thing I have to say is these Pirelli P0 tyres are 16 years old. So when you talk about OEM, then this car's got it all. Now, obviously with rubber that's at that age, we're just going to take our time a little bit. We don't want to be taking corners too quickly, and there certainly won't be any launch control starts. Not that this car actually does launch control, but there in third gear, you know, it just picks up. It just picks up. Now the cabin of this 996, obviously it hasn't got all the same gadgetry now at the Starship Enterprise of the 992, but of course it's purposeful. This steering wheel Alcantara lined, nice and small, actually got air conditioning, so that's good. Dial straight ahead and the standard kind of Porsche layout. The cabin's compact, and that howling flat six in the back keeps his chariot moving forward with real aplomb. Okay, so the 996 generation GT3 RS from Porsche, the first GT3 RS that they made. What stands out about this car is the blue livery, because it was only 113 cars that were supplied to UK market, and of those 113, I'm led to believe only a third of them had the blue livery, and these wheels are stunning. The alloy has a stainless steel finish, and then straight ahead here you've got the blue, and then you've got the RS centre caps. Now some people didn't like the 996 because of the egg yolk lamps, but I have to say I think they do suit the car. We've also got the vents in the bonnet, which was new to GT3, and of course you've got the sticker on the bonnet. Another cool touch with the GT3 RS is these carbon wing mirrors, which I had to pay quite a lot for. I got my first GT3. And then you've got your great big whale tail on the back. Again, stunning carbon weave through this rear spoiler. Twin exhaust tailpipes, different to what you might expect from GT3, where they're the centre pipes now. So they were at each corner, just sitting behind the rear haunches of the car. Now one thing also about the GT3 RS is it did have the option for carbon ceramic brakes. This car has the steel brakes with the customary red calipers. Now there's no carbon fibre roof to match the carbon fibre rear spoiler that was going to come in later generation cars. So let's hop inside and check out some of the interior detail. In the cabin of the car you've got your Alcantara steering wheel. The gear stick a little bit different, so they have like a sort of an oval kind of finish to it. And what's really cool about this is it has the GT3 logo on the handbrake. Glove compartment, so you can put a few bits and bobs in there. So open that up. You've got your power windows here. The gate of this car is really cool. It's got some cool mints to be enjoying when he's just taking on the roads. Glove compartment. There's a bit of room in there. We've got the radio, got the car manual. This car was fitted with airbags, so it's hard to believe, 2004 technology. A lot of things hadn't really come along yet, like Bluetooth and USB interface. But these Recaro seats, really supportive. Fantastic white roll cage in the back. Got your courtesy lights here. But straight ahead, you've got your traditional rev meter, speedo to the left, and you've got your fuel gauge, engine temperature, oil pressure gauge to the right. So a purposeful cabin. And one thing about the gear stick is the throw, perhaps, I don't know, it feels longer than when I had my Spider, and obviously the other GT3 products I've driven with manual. The 4 litre, that throw does feel a little bit longer. But you've got on here, center console, you've got your CD player, climate control readout, so on. And I do like the kind of reddy orange readout on the LCD display. And it just sets it up, there's lots of little bits of noises, and sort of like as you're going over the bumps and driving the car, you really feel everything, and it sort of squeaks a little bit as it's going along. It's just quality, it just takes you back to the sort of the beginning of the GT3 generation cars and the RS variant. This car is extremely exciting to drive. The standard GT3 996 generation 2, 1380 kilograms. This was taken down by 20 kilograms and stands there at 1360. So this is quite a lightweight car. And of course the braking isn't the same as the more modern cars with smaller discs front and back, but because it's lightweight, it stops extremely well. I'm really getting used to the gearbox now. It's just a short throw, like the design, the oval design of the actual gear stick itself. And one thing you do get on this car is GT3 on your handbrake. The older Porsche products, the older GT3s, they're just busier on the road, they just feel rawer, connect you a lot more to what's going on, and you feel all the undulations, and it just sort of bops up and down the suspension in a different way to the newer generation cars. And I think that's something you tend to lose a little bit, with the newer cars over the older ones, is that sort of raw feeling and that sort of connectivity to the driver, the steering wheel and the road. It's got a typical Porsche howl. And delivers a lot of thrill for the driver. These black dials, I'm not sure you can have a different coloured dial configuration, but you've got the white plots on the black dial, the orange readouts. Obviously stepped on a little bit in terms of the look and feel for the 993 generation cars. And you've got your air conditioning. One thing is really cool, they've got this little storage area here. So it's cavernous, lose your arm in there. And then you've got some little front door pockets in the door cards here. Put your phone in and what have you. So it's a very purposeful car, it's designed to thrill the driver on the open road. You don't want to be following other cars like I am right now, it's a bit boring. But the way the steering wheel just put a bit of input in, a little bit, just a bit of turn, and it just takes the car change directions just lightning quick. It's nice to be driving a car again that's got manual transmission. It just picks up so well, this car, it really does. And the low suspension, the lowered suspension, I mean, it takes the bends on. The way it changes direction just gives you that surge of torque. Well, after all, it's a Metzger engine. Need we say any more than that? And I like the way the cabin just delivers all these different sort of noises for you. You know, it feels very real. There's not a lot of sound deadening. It's got polycarbonate side and rear windows just to shed more weight for the car. So reminiscent of the 997 that would come later. Just a fabulous car to enjoy, and a car that, you know, for 2004, well ahead of its time. So there we have it, the GT3 RS, the very first one, the 996 generation. What a thrilling car it has been to drive today. Very raw, very real, and very, very rare. If you haven't done so already, please think about subscribing to the channel and getting the notification bell on. And as always, I'll see you next time.